Welcome back to Bessspice Cooking. Today we're going to do some stewed pork. You see I have all my pork cut small, well medium size that is. We're going to go ahead to wash our meat. I have some vinegar here. And of course, I have my lime. You can use lime juice if you have. We're going to wash this a few times, maybe 2-3 times, then put it to drain. This is like maybe 20 pounds of pork. So we're back. Our meat is all cleaned. I had to cut a few other pieces because they were a bit too big. As you can see, it's all drained, ready to season, right? I've gone ahead to mix together. I have my Larry season here. I have my Gaia, which is all-purpose, and I have some easy spice season Jamaican, of course. I have chicken, pork, and meat all mixed in my little bowl. So I'm going to just quickly put it all over my meat. Alright. Then I'm going to go ahead to add a few pimento. I really like to crush mine, but you could just leave it whole. Alright. I'm going to go ahead now to add all my fresh seasoning. Alright, in the end, you're still gonna have to add some seasoning to your pot when it's near done. But because I'm gonna put this down to make it marinate overnight, I have to add a few fresh seasoning. I have some crushed garlic here. I'm just gonna cut them up a bit smaller, so it could be in between each and every piece, because we want it to have flavor. You understand what I mean? I'm going to go ahead to add a hot pepper. You can't do without your ginger. Your pork need a little bit of ginger. I mean, in my green seasoning, I have all of this. Right? I have all of this all diced up. And put this pepper in there. I have my green scallion. You could chop it as well as you could beat it. You know, in Jamaica, we beat it like this. Whether we use knife or we use any glass metal, they have one cut it up. You know, Jamaican, we just, that's how you grow up, see your mother doing it. Right? And of course you have your onion. Tell me, after you get this seasoned pork, what more you need? And then we're gonna go ahead to put brown in. If you have a gravy master, you could use that also. I don't want mine too dark because I'm going to brown it. I'm going to actually fry it before I start cooking it. Alright, and you're just going to mix it in. Hey guys. So guys, we're back. Remember I told you that we're going to fry our pork before it starts stewing. That's why I didn't bother to brown it that much. To put brown in that is. So now I'm gonna add a few pieces in my frying pot to let it have that nice brown look. Right? I've preheated my oil, so I'm just gonna go ahead and add. flavor, I'm gonna add a few pieces of garlic, some thyme, and a pepper. Alright, I was just gonna let it brown. Okay, so we finished frying our pork. This is what your pork should look like. This is like 20 pounds of pork, so I have to use this big pot. So I'm gonna go ahead to place my pork in my pot. And I've already started my fire just a minute before it actually starts popping. And you see that same oil I used to fry the pork? I'm going to pour that on the top when I'm finished placing all my pork, in my pot. Hear that sizzling sound? That's the pork. Now, you're just going to tip a little, maybe a cup full of water, warm water that is, in your pot. And you're going to let it just cook by itself, right? I'm just gonna place my cover on my pot and then it cook down. Then later on we're gonna add some fresh seasoning, but we're gonna let it cook maybe another 20-30 minutes. Make sure your meat is cooked all the way through, and then we'll add our fresh seasoning. Okay guys, this is what it should look like. I'm going to pour a cup of water into my pot and I'm just going to let it sit and cook a few minutes, okay? So we're going to pour a cup of water. And then we're going to cover it to let it cook. Later on you could add a little browning if you want it a little bit more browner, but we're not going to do that just yet. Just in case we do, we'll add it later on, but not right now. We're going to see what color we're going to get when this is finished stewing down. So our pork is halfway through. Still need a bit more cooking before we add our first seasoning. But look at that nice pork. We're going to test a piece later on the top of the cover to see if it's well cooked through. I would say this needs another 30 to 35 minutes. Okay, so now we're going to go on in to test our meat to see if it's well cooked. We're just going to find any piece. Alright? We're going to cut it. Be like, okay, maybe this could take another 5 minutes. We chop another piece. Let's move it fast. Another 5-10 minutes. Alright? And then we're going to add our first seasoning. Okay, so we are all ready. I'll add a little bit more seasoning powder to mine. Alright? Because I'm going to add a little bit more water with the first seasoning. You see how this part came apart? So you know your meat is well cooked. Alright. Now it's time to add all my first seasoning. My carrots, my onion, my pepper, my thyme, my garlic, and my pepper. So I'm just going to leave this on top. Alright, I'm going to add a little bit of ketchup. So remember, our pot is almost done, so we're giving it the final touch. So I'm going to add a little ketchup to this. That should be enough. I'm just going to cover this back and let it finish. Stick around to see the final result. Okay?